Hey, what's up guys? Team for Life, Captain Alberto Zertuche here. Alright, so today I've got a very important deal, and what it is about is our shark fishing regulations. Video that I posted up about them trying to implement new rules on how we shark fish from shore has been thrown out the window. They have literally combined us with the federal regulations, and this is all due in part to the boat activity that has been going on. See, I don't mind fishing regulations if it has to do with us specifically. It has nothing to do with us. It has to do with the boat guys that fish in state waters or in federal waters, but they can't tell either or of where they caught their fish. You know, so they can kind of pull the rule, well, I caught them over here, or I caught them over here. And it's up to the state to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that's what happened. So it makes it very difficult for them to do that. However, for us fishing in state waters, because we're connected to shore or on the beach or on a pier, it's obvious. There's no way we can reach federal waters from where we're at. There ain't a real big enough, and if there is, good luck landing it, you know what I mean? So, today I'm going to get on the phone again with Texas Parks and Wildlife and find out what we can do to amend this rule to just strictly boats. I can understand their grief on what is going on, but at the same time, too, we cannot be combined with the same rules and regulations that are plaguing them. I mean, it's totally unfair, and two, it's just going to mess up the sharks even more when we go to try to release them. I mean, what's the deal? Why only on baits? Lures are stainless steel hooks too. They're J hooks. I mean, it's the same thing, but you know what? I'm trying to work with them, and if we got to go this route and do this and just protect the land-based shark fishing for right now, well, then it's a start, because I definitely don't want to become a shark fishing of Florida. Those guys have been getting beat up and beat up and beat up while they're still trying to protect the sport, and you know, it's a losing battle. And it's going to happen here in Texas too if we don't stand up for our rights here. If we don't protect what's going on, we're going to lose it. And I'm sorry, there's too many of us here that have done great things for us to let this slip through our hands. And so I'm going to be on the front lines making the call, find out what we can do, and if we got to get a petition going to amend this rule, then I'm all for it. And if y'all are too, I really would appreciate that, because like I said, you know, at the beginning, the reason why I moved to circle hooks was to protect, you know, the sharks and bull reds and stuff that we were catching. But at the same time too, I saw how damaging those hooks are to the inside of their jaw lines. I mean, they were just ripping all the meat on them. And then they said, well, just cut your hook. No! I'm not throwing away money, because it's already expensive enough for us to go out there and do what we do. And we pay so much money to go out there and live like we're homeless just because we enjoy the sport so much. But at the same time too, we're doing it because, I mean, that's my therapy, you know. I've got my own mental issues and stuff like that. That's my therapy. And in a way, they are impeding my medical way of treating myself and or protecting my way to be able to show my kids a good way to have a good time and not be glued to a game. So I like shark fishing. I know hooks, you know, cause some damage, but I'm not going to use a hook that's going to cause more damage just trying to get it out. Pick the wrong way to do it, and I don't agree with the way they're doing this. I mean, I'm sorry, that is me. And it's because of all the shark fishing I've done, the thousands of sharks I have caught, and the hundreds of sharks that I saw just get totally beat up. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm venting right now, but it's reality. It's the reality we're in right now, and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to do what I need to do to try and get this rule amended, because right now it's a try. We don't know what's going to happen. I got on the phone the last time, and she said we couldn't do nothing until it passed. Well, it has passed, so now it's up to us to do something about it. Let's get this.
person at extension 4620 is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hello, my name is Alberto Zertuche. I'm calling on the new shark fishing regulations that have been implemented. I need to talk to somebody. My number is 365. Thank you very much. All right, so I've called the first number, and this was the number that I used the last time to get a hold of somebody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep looking for other numbers and keep drumming them up to see who we need to talk to about this.
On Texas Parks and Wildlife property, please leave a message or download our complaint form on tpwd.texas.gov. If this is an emergency, please contact 911. Thank you.
How you doing? My name is Alberto Zertuche. I'm trying to find somebody to talk to about our new shark fishing regulations that have been implemented. We were told that we can start something after the rule passed if we didn't agree with it, and I'd like to know how we can go about doing that. My number is 3615. Thank you very much. All right. Well, I just found another number here. Let's see that one. 389-4800.
If you in English, stay on the line. Para español, marque el 1. Operator line, how may I help you?
Yes, I'm calling because I need to talk to somebody about the new shark fishing regulations and what we can do about getting a petition going or something to change that rule.
Yeah, sure. I can actually get you over to our fisheries department, and they might have more information for you there. So I can go ahead and get you over to them. Their extension's 8575, okay?
8575. So
yes,
I would dial the same number and use that extension to get to them next time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. If you get disconnected or anything, too. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. 1 second. I'll get you over there.
Coastal Fisheries, this is Carrie.
How you doing? My name is Alberto Zertuche. I'm calling because of the new shark fishing regulations that were passed. And I had called ahead of time before it had passed and asked questions about what we can do to change those rules if they had actually gone through. And, well, they went through. So I need to know what we can start or get a petition going to change those rules because we do not agree with them down here on the Gulf Coast.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Coastal Fisheries, this is Zach.
How you doing, sir? My name is Albert. I was calling because we were told before the proposed shark fishing regulations were implemented that we couldn't do nothing, only voice our opinions on the online forum since they were out of driving range for us in that time period. So now that they've passed, what can we do to try and amend and or get it changed?
I don't know. I'd have to talk to my division director about that. I'm not sure what you can do, if anything. Once the commission, we go before our commission, and once they pass, it's kind of, my understanding, it's kind of difficult to get those changed, but I can find out if there's something you can do, certainly. Let me get some contact information from you, and I can give you a call back after I speak with him.
Okay, my number is 361.
Okay, and your name was Albert?
Alberto Zertuche.
Okay. Okay. I'll
right.
speak with him and see if there's something that you can do, and I'll give you a call back, okay?
Okay, and what was your name again, sir?
Zach Thomas.
Okay.
ZACKTHOMAS.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You bet. Take care.
All right, bye-bye. All right, boss. Who is this again?
This is Zach Thomas with Texas Parks and Wildlife.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Sure. I was calling to get back with you on what you can do in terms of. I know you wanted to voice your concerns about the shark rigs.
Well, we already have voiced our concerns, and they weren't heard, and we here on the Texas coast do not agree with them.
Sure, and this is basically what you can do is you can either contact my division director, Robin Rikers, via email or mail, and just provide your contact information. And if you need that address or that email, just let me know.
Yes, I'm writing all this down. It was Robin, ROBBIN.
It's one B, ROBIN.
Okay.
Rikers, which is RIECHERS, and he's the division director for the Coastal Fisheries Division.
Okay.
And would you like email, or do you want a mailing address?
No,
as well?
email, because what I'm doing is I'm posting this to my YouTube channel so we can get a great amount of people that have already, voiced their opinions online and stuff like that. And this is our next step to properly get this handled with, or at least amended to where we can separate the boat fishermen from land-based fishermen. That's my only complaint there. We're getting grouped in to the wrong rules, so.
Okay, his email is his name, Robin.Rikers at tpwd.texas spelled out .gov, G-O-V.
All right, and his last name was RIECHERS, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I always just double check stuff.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right, boss. Thank you very much for giving us a call back, and we
Sure.
will definitely start sending in some emails.
Okay.
So, all right. So you have a good one. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
In this regulation, the thing is that before adoption, so number one is during the statewide process is when they're going to make changes. Okay, statewide process starts in November. There's a proposal that staff makes to the commission as to what they want to go, or what they want to explore and or go forward with in the upcoming year for the next year's regulation changes. Okay, so you got that in November. In January, they come back and they have a more solid idea of what they're going to do. Between that time and I want to say that they adopted March, but so they start scoping it out. They start trying to figure out what the public reaction is going to be. But in the end, before they adopt, whenever they go to discuss the item, you have the ability to attend our commission meeting and make comment then, or they will also have a statewide webinar to where they discuss the issue, and you can make public comment either through that forum, or you can even go on to, whenever they post the upcoming changes, you can open it up on our website under it says TPWD Commission at the bottom. You can go there and you can open up the item and you can comment there. You can leave public comment.
Yes.
Because they need your input in order to be able to make an informed decision before adoption.
Yes, we did that. I actually did a YouTube video, which I'm doing now, on the new amendment on the shark fishing rules. And real quick, can I get your name again?
Brandy Reeder.
And you are the captain for the local area, correct?
I'm captain over Brazoria, Fort Bend, Matagorda, and Morton. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, yes, when I originally started the video, because we learned about it, like you said, back in March, we started doing our research and what we need to do. I went online. I submitted my ideas and proposals on that, and also too how it's going to affect us, because I am a fishing tackle company that started out with shark fishing as that's my niche into the market. So producing, leaders and stuff like that will make my customers very efficient in fishing, but also to protect our species, because like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about protecting our resources for our next generation. So I'm all about that. But at the same time too, I've also seen the negative effects about these proposed hooks firsthand. It was probably over a year of me trying them and thinking that I was doing something wrong, when you're not even supposed to set the hooks, so that you can't do nothing wrong on them. And they were causing more damage than good. So I put all that in there. I had all the other tackle shops locally here also do the same, because I supply 25 stores here with our fishing leaders, shark leaders, and stuff like that. So it's not just, another fisherman here. I've built a business around my knowledge on protecting our resources. But now we've crossed this bridge. We did all the things we needed to then. And when I originally spoke to them, they said that we couldn't do nothing until after it passes, if it passed. And so it has passed. And now this is a bridge we must cross, because, like I said, I understand at the end of the day, it's protecting the species, but at the same time too, when we're doing more bodily harm to these catches upon release, you're kind of playing on a double-edged sword there.
Right. No, I get your concerns.
And like I said, I'm totally fine with amending it to where they just have it for boat fishermen, because that's where, in reality, where this is all coming from. It's coming from offshore fishermen that are fishing state water and federal water, but y'all can't tell when they bring in a protected species or something in those regulations, as well as snapper and cobia. You don't know if they did in state water or federal water. I can understand all that. But let's see if we can amend it to where if you're fishing from land-based versus a boat, hey, one hit wonder. That rule will cover everything, and no game warden will ever have any doubt, and so will fishermen. But fishermen on land are in a totally different bracket. To be grouped up into a boat fishing rules, that's like telling us, okay, while we're fishing, we got to wear life preservers. Well, that's a boat issue.
So, I get where you're going, but in the end, a lot of times, and again, I'm just talking about in general how these regulations come about, and a lot of times, our department will choose to match some of the conservation efforts that the feds have already employed. Except, like you said, do you need that? Do you need to get that?
Yes. Hold on, just a second, please. You there?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. I need that. I really need that app where it answers these computerized calls and.
Oh my gosh! Well, if I got one more call about my truck warranty going out, I was about ready to strangle something.
No, I know.
Not sure what, but something. But okay. So let me back up. So just in the future, no, I don't know who you talked to about letting the reg go into effect before doing anything about it. That information was incorrect. You have an opportunity. So they did scoping meetings in February. So, like I said, I think you misunderstood me. In November is when they come out with their ideas. And then like that, is that on our Facebook, it talked about public hearings. They had one in Texas City, they had one in Port Arthur, and they had one in Conroe.
Nowhere near water.
Well, Texas City is water. That's Galveston.
Yeah, but that Galveston has nowhere near the land-based sharkers that Corpus Christi has. If they would have held it here, they probably would have had 1,000 sharkers show up and voice our opinions there. But they did it in cities way away from us.
I think the challenge that they had is they didn't realize that the change to circle hooks would be of such a large concern. It's changing gear moderately. I see what you're saying is that based upon your experience that this is a huge change, but considering other states have already gone to this, and I realize, like you said, perhaps they don't have the shore-based shark fishery. I think what it was is they underestimated the potential perceived impact of this change, because like that is that I know what they did, or I'm conjecturing. I think I know what they did. I think they did the Texas City location because they were changing the trout limit to 5.
Yes.
To make it statewide.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think that's why they did that up there. And then Conroe was to catch the North Houston folks, and also to catch some of the bow fishermen for some of the. Well, no, they weren't. They wouldn't have been concerned with that. So Port Arthur and Texas City and Conroe were to all catch people that would have been concerned with the change in the sea trout regulation.
Yes.
And like I think in the end, they didn't anticipate that the that the gear change would have been an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, in the future, your venues, and it always helps to have a few more people that are concerned as well. But go to those public hearings if you can. I realize you run a business, so that presents its own challenge. But you can, like you did, evidently, is get on there and leave your public comment about the concern, and then it can be considered. But like I said, unfortunately, I don't think that was. I don't know. So, with that said, now your options are really kind of limited. Is you can use your knowledge and provide the links or whatever, but you're going to have to draft up a letter to the commission. And I don't know that they're going to do it this year, but.
Well,
you present in that letter. You request a rule change, and so then if the commission, a petition for rule change, that's what it is. You request, or you make a petition for rule change, and then you explain your reasoning and your findings, and as to why and how this affects constituents, whatever. And then if the commission considers it, then they will respond. If it's not considered and not brought up in the next meeting, then it will be considered denied.
Yes. I got a hold of a Zach Thomas this morning, and he gave me the number to Robin Riker's emails that where we can start submitting our request for that. I believe this is what is happening this morning. So I'll be sharing that info because, like you said, we need to get more people involved to let them know what's going on, because we didn't find out about it until literally when they started posting up that they were going to have the meetings and so forth, and we had no idea about it here in Corpus. It was relayed through Facebook, from cities up north, and they were pissed off about the speckled trout regulations, and then
right.
we started reading into it and found out about the shark regulations. So it was,
and especially for somebody like you that is involved in a business, and obviously enjoy getting out and enjoying the resource yourself. My suggestion is always to keep an eye on that commission website after November. So right after November, because they had that November commission meeting, and that's whenever shortly thereafter they post those items on the website, and then they get them up there, so that way you can start making public comment. But y'all, any fisherman that is really concerned overall about any changes that might be coming up needs to just periodically look at that website. And like I said, our big changes are going to happen in the statewide process. So November to January is when you're really going to want to shop the website and make sure you know what's coming up.
Well, now I do, and I really appreciate you sharing that information with us, because yes, this is my business, and I make a living off of it, or try to make a living off of it.
Right.
But at the same time, too, I never knew when that process would happen or how we could even be involved. And the only reason I'm involved now is because I made a phone call to find out, hey, what can I do? So that's where we're at, and that's how I've gotten this far, getting you on the phone and everybody else that I'm getting on the phone. So,
right. So just remember, always go to our Parks and Wildlife website. I think you're going to have to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and they have some lower links, so it's a smaller link. But then you go to TPW Commission, and then it'll show up with all of our commissioners. But then at the top of it, it has another link that says Commission Meetings, and then you'll start cruising from there, and then you'll be able to find what's upcoming. So,
awesome.
And like I said, so by the January meeting, they usually try to, either by the January meeting or shortly thereafter, have public hearings scheduled. And then they usually take action on the item in the March meeting. And then you can decide whether or not that item is of particular concern to you. And then you could always, you know, get the issue out to fellow people that would also be concerned with the item. And then you can make a presence at that March commission meeting to then relay your concerns directly. You have 3 minutes to speak, so you need to be concise and clear, but you would have 3 minutes to speak on that item before they choose whether or not they're going to amend the item or adopt the item as is.
Okay.
Or deny it.
Right. All right. Well, I do appreciate your time and giving me the extra knowledge that I can pass on, because that's why I created the YouTube channel, is so we can pass on knowledge to protect our resources. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So I will continue on, and we'll see how it goes. But I, like I said, at the end of the day, for me, I've seen the damage they can cause, and I can't stand by idly and let it happen some more. You know, we're here to protect them, so we got to voice our opinions and try to help them.
Absolutely. No, I understand your concerns, and like that, it sounds like you're on the right path by having conversations with coastal fisheries, because in the end, this is going to be a biological issue. It's not an enforcement issue. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I mean, if you ever have an enforcement question, please holler at me. But as far as the biological impact, I think you're on the right track, keeping up with coastal fisheries and just presenting your findings as you go along, as you experiment with that tackle, because now it's required. Then just document what you see and what you observe, and then, you know, share those findings, so that way they have a better idea of what's occurring.
Well, that is for sure going to happen, because like I said, with the YouTube channel, I'm recording all the time, any catch that comes in, and we always show hook placement and how the tackle worked and so forth. So now if it takes this long, it's going to give us a lot more time to collect a lot more data. You know, I cringe at the thought of what fish and sharks have to pay the price in order for us to get this changed, you know? So.
Well, good luck with it. And again, you've got my number now, so if you have another question that I can help you with, let me know.
Will do. And thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And this is not a good situation for any of the sharks or even fish, bull reds especially, because when we are shark fishing, especially on castouts, we catch a ton of bull reds while we're trying to catch sharks. And man, that circle hook would get perfectly in the jaw, and you would just rip everything trying to get that hook out. And you know, a lot of times it's just, okay, they want us to start doing this, they want us to start doing that, but you know what, it was simplified by the way we changed up the leader to make it work. By offsetting the hook, we would corkscrew it right out of their jaw, and it would only leave a puncture. And leaving a puncture is a lot better than pulling all their ligaments and muscle apart. And I mean, we'd catch several reds, and you could see one side where their jaw was lame because they already had a hook removed, and now we're hooked on the other side, and that's bad. It's real bad. So I'm not doing it just for us sharkers. I'm doing it for the species, because I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're supposed to be good stewards, and good stewards will try and use the gear that's not going to mess them up as bad. I mean, yes, we do a lot of catching, and the hooks do hurt, but at the same time too, a small puncture in comparison is nothing like ripping ligaments and muscle and stuff like that. Anybody that's ever ripped a muscle or a ligament knows the pain. I do for sure, because I ripped a bicep tendon a few years ago, and I couldn't even lift my arm to get my shirt on. So this is more than just, you know, taking a wild guesser, and I know the pain, and you know, I'm going to do what I can to help out. All right, guys, so you heard it here first. There is a way. We have to go through this to find out. Now, I don't know. Obviously, we got to get in contact with this guy first, and he's the main director of the whole deal. So I have a feeling if all of us can start submitting our emails to this gentleman so he can hear our side of it, hopefully we can get it. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and please email this gentleman here and let them know that we don't agree with this and we need to do something about it. So, all right, guys, y'all have a good one. Thank you very much.